Hello everybody and welcome back to another WorldBox video. So today, what I've got here is this map that's got like 4 long ledges here and then a big island in the middle. And the goal is to make it so whoever gets to the middle first and actually takes it wins the whole thing. This is going to be a normal fight between the 4 races, except the extra twist, other than the island, is that I am going to roll a random wheel every 20 years after I give them some time to set up. So you can see here what I've put on here, and I tried to make most of them good things. That way the really bad things are quite rare. All right, now that they've got their basic setup done, they've got a couple houses down, some of them have extra villages going up, they're taking over their entire square pretty much. I am going to roll the first wheel, and I think I'm going to roll it every 20 years because this map isn't all that big, and I think that's a good time span. First off, we got to click to spin this guy, so it is going to, it looks like the elves, but this is a fun one. Ooh! And I am going to remove the choices each time. Okay, so the elves, which are right up here, get a grenade. Let's just throw that right there. It only broke one of their houses. Seems like they're perfectly fine. I didn't want to make the bad ones too bad to the point where it just make them lose instantly. Some of the bad ones are significantly worse than that. That was one of the more minor ones. The elves have almost filled up their entire space they have available here before they run into another territory. Pretty likely they go to war here soon. And the elves, despite being the first ones to get a roll and it being a bad roll, are still very far ahead. Looks like they made peace with the humans even though a plan was going on there, so good for them. But someone has got to fight someone eventually. We're gonna call it on year 90 and then year 110, so on and so forth. Let's roll again. Orcs. Fruit bushes. Now, that one does not make a very big difference on this map. There is actually already quite a bit of fruit bushes around, but we'll just give them some more. I don't think that's going to impact anything at all on this map, actually. Oh, and we just went into Age of Dark. A lot of wild animals on this middle island, like an absolute ton of them. Even if someone does get here, they gotta fight off all these animals. They need to come with an army. Let's speed up until we see a war or hit the next wheel spin. I promise you, wars are on here. These guys are just being slow. And it looks to me like the humans have basically already lost unless they get a really good spin. Dwarves. Get gold. Okay, we went ahead, gave the dwarves some gold. So what's happening here? The humans look like they've expanded their tech a bit. It looks like the orcs have a mine, which I believe they need the mine if they want to get ships. So that's really good for them. The dwarves, I gave all this gold, and the gold is already gone. I mean, they are dwarves, and it looks like they've made mines, so they're also on that same level. And then the elves also have mines, but they're also much more expanded, and it looks like they're a bit higher tech level too. And we're seeing one for the humans. Mithril. Now that is a really good spin, but it'd be much better on the dwarves than on them. Okay, we gave them a whole bunch of mithril. We'll see what happens. And these guys are just not fighting, and I don't know why. But the thing is, I do have one on here that is just war. If they get that one, I'm going to whisper of war that nation to attack all 3 other nations at once. So yes, that one will absolutely doom them if all 3 nations are still alive. But it might be the only thing that actually gets us going here, it seems like. Orcs. Get a bowling ball. So if you don't know what bowling ball means, it is not a good time. And it'd be way worse for them if they were on one of these vertical strips, but they just aren't. I am going to place this tactically where I think it will do the most damage. I think right here is probably best. Wow, that didn't do what I thought it was going to at all. It's gonna hit the humans more than it hit the orcs. Oh my gosh. Looks like these dwarves have quite the armies together. How about the elves? Do they have quite the army? Well, they've got a pretty decent sized army together. Humans? also pretty decent sized army. Orcs, they actually seem a bit small. Oh, they just have a whole bunch of armies. I'm looking at one of their smaller ones. The orcs are doing just fine. They're actually gonna steamroll these guys if they go to war right now. And I have an idea. Let's make this a bit more interesting because this game won't go on for too long. We'll just go ahead, connect this by land. And I think because the elves are at a natural disadvantage here, I'm just gonna give them a bit more land over on this side. And those fighting things you're seeing is not between the nations. There's just so many bears on this island that they're like, oh yeah, let's kill them all. But everyone's running for the middle like immediately, it seems. The dwarves are trying to get their path first. Oh, a war started and I missed our spin. Dwarves, they get some stone. There you guys go. That's a lot of stone. There you go. Now let's just leave this on 5 times. They got their tiny little armies going together. They're fighting. Looks like the elves are winning handily. Oh yeah, the elves just pushed them right off. And it looks like they're gonna attack the homeland now. Oh yeah, there they go. And it doesn't look like the dwarves have too much of an army left. Oh, here they come. But their army was no match for the elves. Although the elves' army is really pushed down quite a lot. Ooh, and the dwarves, they're just completely getting annihilated here. They are just done. They're gone. And the elves are taking a hearty lead here, it looks like. Except the orcs down here have more population, and honestly, I think they have a bit more land. And the humans are getting all bunched up in here, which they do not like. And there we go, the orcs are going to war with the elves. We'll see who wins. They're pretty evenly populated, but the orcs are generally warmongers, and they have a lot of health. If I had to guess, I'd say the orcs will probably win, unless the elves have bows already. Looks like the orcs are winning handily over here. The elves were fighting back pretty well over there, but now this orc army's here and they're hitting them back. Okay. And they just kicked them off this island, but they're not done there. They're gonna send this whole big army right in there. Oh, but the elves over here have bows. I think that's a whole different game if they have bows. But that is already it for all of their armies, it seems, and the orcs are just coming in and pillaging. But they do still have one tiny army over here. Looks like they're hitting him back. Wow, that one had a lot of health. But they did get rid of him, and they do have a small army left. And looks like they're just sending like one more soldier in, and he's got a bow now, which I think he stole. And they're coming in to beat him up. Ooh, and they got him. The humans are attacking the orcs now, so it seems everyone's fighting the orcs at this point. So that is really good for the elves. But the elves, it looks like there's a huge army coming for them. I'd bet the elves are done here. But they do have a chance, a random chance. And I swear, dwarves always lose first. It's the orcs. What do the orcs get? That could be good for the elves. They get cursed. Okay, so let's just pick one big group of them. I don't think I'm gonna pick these guys up here because it'd be too difficult to avoid getting any elves in it. So we have an army over here. We're just gonna go whoop, whoop, and on a couple of these guys over here. And that's all we're gonna do. We're not gonna do the whole nation. That's a bit too much. Now, if the elves repel this attack, they're probably good though. I just weakened their armies, so their next armies are not nearly as strong. The humans might end up winning again, even though they're getting kind of beat up on the middle too. I think the humans were a little overexpanded here. Just didn't have the armies to upkeep the population. And now it looks like it's just the orcs and the humans going to war, and the orcs are already coming back handily. But do keep in mind, a couple of them are weakened in those armies, so that is good for the humans. Oh, but the humans are coming in at the bottom. They took out quite a few buildings before an army got to them. They did some good damage to the orcs there. Some very good damage. And the elves are rebuilding, so it looks like this might keep going for a while longer, but the orcs are coming up top. The humans do have warriors still though that can take care of these guys, it looks like. Yep, looks like they're getting them. Yep, they just repelled it, but they got very, very damaged from that. Oh, and we got some more orcs coming in, but there's a big human army over here, it looks like, and they're just going on a search and destroy mission. You guys need that army at home. Oh, I guess they don't actually. They have some armies left. Even though their population is that high, they definitely still have armies left. The humans are almost completely wiped out, but what this has given is the elves some time to come back. But the orcs are generally quite a bit physically stronger than either of these two nations, and they're just tearing into the houses. These humans definitely do still have a couple soldiers left, but it ain't much. Seems like 5-6 people. Now, it looks like the war has ended, so that's good. And the elf guy looks like he's planning a war, and so is a human. Hopefully they don't end up going to war, because then they both definitely lose. They founded an alliance to go against the orcs. That's what they needed to go against the orcs. That is intelligent on their parts. But the orcs are expanding like crazy. The humans are also expanding very quickly, and it looks like they're probably rebuilding some of these houses. I'm pretty sure they can do that, which helps them rebuild quicker. And it's almost time for our next spin again. Oh, looks like he's planning a war. And he's got quite the armies built up, and I doubt any of those cursed guys are left. I think they ran through all those guys already, or maybe there's like 1 or 2 left. I wouldn't count on there being a whole bunch of them left. It is time to spin. Elves. Get an evil mage. Now, you might think that's a bad one, but if they're actually able to successfully kill him, they get to steal his fire staff, so it might be a good thing for them. I'm gonna put him down right here against some soldiers, and we'll see what happens. So he is just right there. Ooh, they're really hitting him hard. They got him. I don't see who got the staff, but someone here should have it. Maybe we'll see it go to use when these guys fight. That really weakened their army there, though, is the thing. Where's the staff? Use the staff, guys. Did they not get the staff? And there's just no... Oh, there it is. The staff is getting used, but it's getting used in their own territory. I think the person burned themselves to death with it. But it did successfully repel the orc army. So there is that. They burned their own army to death. They burned the other army to death. I guess that's one way to do things. Just scorch the whole earth. Oh, and while I wasn't looking, the humans, they're gone. They're completely wiped out. I was so focused on the elves. I think we know how this match is gonna go. These orcs are going to completely take out these elves. These guys really have no armies left, or they have just a couple people left. And these orcs, their population is 6 times what the elves is. And I just say, hey, that's typical. The orcs are very strong, very militant. They usually win. And there go the elves. No! Taking out their last couple of houses, and there they go. If you liked this video, first off, I would like to credit Gorg for the idea of random spinning effects for this, which he's a really good WorldBox YouTuber, makes great videos, would highly recommend him. And then second off, I would ask that, hey, please subscribe to the channel, because that tells YouTube, hey, this is a good channel, and I'm a very new channel.